All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Y'all already know what's up. Y'all already know what's up. Let's get into this messy, messy ass episode. This episode messy. All right, I ain't even gonna waste no time because it was so much shit. This episode was full of conversations, and I was just like, you had to pay attention. You had to pay attention. And it was easy to, which is why I like watching the show. Anyway, let's get into it. So, Rhaenyra's over here choosing suitors, right? And she already is over it. I knew it was gonna be an issue. Like, I understood that, Viserys was like, girl, choose whoever you want, but I knew there was gonna be an issue because Rhaenyra's Rhaenyra, right? Like, she's not going to just, I just love her. I'm sorry. I love her. So she's choosing suitors, like they're walking up here. Don't ask me the names of the goddamn houses, bitch. Like, are you serious? So this guy come up here and he old as hell. And but what I love Rhaenyra saying is when she said, "Did you think my great grandmother was as beautiful as they say?" And he was just like, "Girl, what are you talking about? It was 50 years ago." And she was like, "Exactly." She was like, exactly. So why the fuck are you here? And this person's gonna look at her and talk about, oh, well, girl, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't, like, oh, that's so unsightly. How you're a princess. You shouldn't do that shit. Bitch, right now was like, bitch, he shouldn't have taken his old ass up here. So y'all mad at me for pointing out the obvious? Bitch, then after she just rejected his ass for being like older than her goddamn dad, here come a child. And she was just like, really? Really? Here comes a child? So she was just like smirking while hearing him out. Obviously, she's no interest in this kid, literal kid. And this kid is apparently from the Blackwoods. I think that's the name of the house or some shit. Either way, he was just talking about, yeah, girl, our house helped Aegon. We're really tied to this land. He was just trying to do his thing as the Lord should, I guess, in those times in Westeros, Westerosi culture. And then here comes this guy over here, like, what house is this motherfucker from? I don't know what that fucking sigil is. Oh, I don't know what that sigil looked like. Oh, great value ass sigil. I don't know who that sigil is. But this guy is over here making fun of him, talking about, oh yeah, girl, I bet your house did help Aegon. Like, I bet they really did. Like, and then the kid was like, okay, well, basically the house can protect you. I can protect you. And then the guy responds again. I'm just like, now you're opening your mouth a little bit too much. Like, first of all, this is a kid. Like, you need to shut the fuck up. He says, the princess has a dragon, you dumb I was like, and Rhaenyra laughed. She shouldn't have laughed. Like, she should not have laughed, girl. Like, Rhaenyra, come on now. I think it would have been funnier if the guy that you're saying that shit to wasn't an actual kid. Like, if he was not a kid, I would be like, okay, whatever. But it doesn't matter because he got his ass sliced. This kid, I don't know who he is. I don't know where he came from, but I would like him to be on my guard. Do you hear what I'm saying? A bodyguard or something. If I'm walking into any dangerous situation, I want that kid from Blackwater or whatever the fuck he came from to be on my Kingsguard. Bitch, get out my face. So Daemon rides in, right? And I love this scene because, of course, Rhaenyra is just like getting her life from seeing Caraxes. But I really love how Daemon just swoops in. Caraxes just swoops in. I think obviously like sensing that, maybe Caraxes senses that Rhaenyra is near, but still in all of that, while it's happening, Rhaenyra bumps her head on the side of the ship. And oops upside your head. I literally said oops upside your head. But that's what you get when you fuck around with Daemon. Like, that's what you get when you're chilling with Daemon. You're gonna get hurt somehow, right? I feel like I really like how that symbolize in my head, that's what that symbolizes, right? So Daemon comes make this whole fucking show out of giving his crown to Viserys. And it's just like, obvious. If you know Daemon, if you have any sense, right? You know Daemon, this ain't just about giving up your crown. This is about taunting Viserys. This is about making a whole show in front of the entire fucking kingdom, in front of the entire Red Keep. Like, Viserys can't actually say anything bad because it's like you're giving up your crown. You're giving up your crown. So you can't really say anything bad, but we all know Daemon is just being taunting him. Like, oh yeah, I know you're the one true king. Like, okay, girl, just give me your crown and move out the building. Like, thank you so much, Daemon. That's what I was like, thank you so much, Daemon. Alicent and Rhaenyra are here talking, right? And let's see here. Alicent said, basically, because Rhaenyra is just pissed about this whole thing. She's kind of concerned about the whole suitors thing. Like, she's concerned that her dad's gonna be extremely pissed, which he is going to be pissed. Like, she keeps asking, first she asked Kristen Cole, I think, and then she asked Alicent. It's like, yes, of course your dad's gonna be pissed. Alicent says, girls, like most girls in the realm, can't even pick between two suitors, and you're mad because you got all these motherfuckers fawning over you. And Rhaenyra was like, bitch, they're not fawning over me. They're fawning over my house. They're fawning over the throne. They're fawning over this puss. They're fawning over my Valyrian blood. Like, that's all they give a fuck about. And Alicent, bird ass, go. Sorry. Sorry. So Allison gonna respond talking about, oh, I think it's romantic. And it's just like, girl, you do not think that shit is romantic. You do not, like, get out of my face. You do not think that shit is romantic. And it was obviously proven in the next couple of seconds when Rhaenyra says, girl, it's definitely is not romantic to be pushing out some heirs, some fucking lord in some castle, like, girl. And then you see Alicent's face like, girl, you kind of right about that shit. You know, so Alicent says the king is angry, of course, but still I'm glad you're back home, even though your ass should have picked somebody to get married to, child. So Rhaenyra here, I love this conversation, honestly, but Rhaenyra here asks Daemon why he even came back, because obviously, like, we all know your ass don't like to be here. And he tells her some bullshit about wanting the comforts of home or some shit. And even, like, Rhaenyra knows that's horse shit, but she was like, whatever. The conversation keeps going. Further on in the conversation, he says that he just points out how marriage is political. You can do what you want outside of it. Just do it and get that shit over with. But then Rhaenyra just says, maybe that's the way it works for men. Like, y'all can get married and y'all, you can do whatever the fuck y'all want. Y'all can have as many bastards as y'all want. That, like, that's really cool that you think so. But I know what it is for women. Rhaenyra brings up her mom here, and from all of that you can tell that she is very scared of giving birth, which makes sense. She's a fucking Targaryen woman, like, I understand. But Daemon comes back here and essentially says you can't live your life in fear or else you will forsake the best parts of it. So that was a cute little conversation. The council is over here discussing how, yes, we have defeated the crab feeder, but now the sea snake, like, occupies that place, right? And he's obviously still pissed because the king rejected young ass Lena, who was still playing with Lego blocks, bitch. I'm so fucking mad. And then Otto over here says, hey, guess what? Corlys is trying to team up with Bravo. So, you know, if he's talking about entering into alliance with the free fucking cities and marrying Lena off to somebody ass, like, ma'am, we have to get serious about this damn marriage pact shit. And you can see Rhaenyra's face here, like, she's like, damn it. So Rhaenyra goes back into her damn room after passing sexy ass Kristen Cole. Hey, boo. Hey, Sir Kristen. Hey, what's up? So she goes back to her room and notices this bag with ugly ass clothes in it. She's like, bitch, who the fuck put this ugly ass motherfucking clothes in it? And the shit smell nasty. She looking around there, she sees this fucking paper. I'm just like, okay, what's going on? It looked like a goddamn crossword puzzle. Like, what the fuck going on? So she finds this secret passageway and ends. I was like, yep. As soon as she opened up that paper, yeah, I was like, yeah, Daemon's trying to get her to go somewhere. And when she saw Daemon, I was like, yo, are they going on a dragon ride or some shit? I was like, oh shit, that's cool. That's cool. But that's definitely not what happened. She might have run on a ride, honey. She might have went on a ride. Sis might have went on a ride. But it was definitely not on the back of a dragon, bitch. They head to the streets. They head to the streets. So now they watch this play, right? And I'm just like, Daemon is doing this shit on purpose. As you can see from his fucking face here, like, you could see that he's doing this shit on purpose. Just like, but I don't know. Like, are you trying to get her mad enough to go again? Like, what's the tea? What's the tea? Are you trying to get her pissed off enough to just do what the fuck she want and ignore the advice of people around her, or king, whatever, like, or father, whatever? Like, what? Daemon's doing this shit on purpose, but he's essentially showing her, like, guess what? The people here, they do not want you to be queen. And I want you to hear what they're saying and really see, like, their facial expressions when they say the shit. They do not want your ass to be sitting on this throne. And I'm talking about, it was a whole ass SNL play up there, right? Like, they were dragging Rhaenyra. She's sitting right there. Then she says, and she says this multiple times. She's already said this multiple times. She said it because Daemon had told her, like, they don't want you to be a queen. And I mean, obviously she knows that. And Rhaenyra came back with, it doesn't matter what the fuck they want, bitch. Rhaenyra said, the bell does not dismiss you, I do. She said, I do not care what these girls are talking about. I don't care what they want or whatever. Cyrax will show them girls. Cyrax will make them girls feel something a little bit different. That's all she said. She walked off and Daemon laughed. And I'm just like, I think that's exactly what he wanted. Like, yes, go against the grain. Don't follow the rules. Burn these bitches up. Drag them all over the place. Like, I think Daemon's just sowing that seed of, ooh, child, not sowing the seed. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Let's just speak, since we're talking about that shit, let's talk about the next fucking scene. Well, actually, before we do that, I just want to say I really love this cute little trick they played on the vendor here. And just like, Damon's like, oh, you got to pay for that. Don't worry, I'm going to get him, and runs after. And I also think it was so funny and cute how Rhaenyra thought it was so amazing that she was being called a boy, because of the way that she was dressed, I just thought that was cute. But anyway, we move on to this goddamn brothel. We just got to move on to this fucking brothel. Okay? Because the first thing that I noticed was that Daemon took off both of their fucking disguises when they went there. And it wasn't much of a fucking disguise. Like, let's be real about that. It was just, they got on hoods and that shit. I'm just like, bitch, if you've seen the princess's face, at any place, at attorney, any place, bitch, you would automatically know that's her. I mean, unless it's dark, sometimes in the club, you can't really see people's face like that. Sometimes at the bar, you can't really see people's face like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes the club lights be a little bit too low. So you can't really see her face. But that is the very, very first thing I noticed. Like, Daemon snatched off her shit. So now her blonde hair, y'all the only bitches walking around here with blonde hair like that. You know what I mean? So I understand it on Daemon's perspective because, bitch, everybody know Daemon come up in there, right? Like, that's really not that surprising. But the fact that he snatched that shit off of Rhaenyra and then based off of what happens in the rest of the episode, it's just like, bitch, you wanted people to know that she was there. Like, I mean, that's really the only explanation. You wanted people to know she was there. You wanted to piss off Viserys, and you wanted this what happened later to happen. When I say that they were getting hot and bothered and hot and spicy, I mean, that is an understatement. It was just, I feel like the chemistry between them was palpable in the first few episodes, but now it's kind of like a climax. I bet it is a fucking climax. Now it's like a climax of all that shit. The only thing I'm gonna say is that the actors that are doing what they need to do. That's all I'm gonna say. I will also say that if this was a different situation, this was a different kind of thing, it would. How do I say this? All I'm saying is that if I was Visaria, I really would not let go of Daemon. After that, I'm just saying. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say nothing else, child. But either way, they were Targaryening in there. They were Targaryening in that goddamn brothel, and I think that Daemon knew exactly what he was doing, especially, like I said, when we see what happens in the throne room, right, with Viserys, and Viserys, right? But that happened, and he just left her ass like this. And I was like, yo, of course Daemon would. Like, why would you not? But this really just showed me, especially, like I said, after I watched the full episode, that he wanted people to know that she was fucking there. Like, I'm sorry, like, he did. He definitely did. And that he was there with her. Because if you wanted to be discreet, if you wanted to not have anybody see that shit, he would have maintained the disguise. He's a prince, goddammit. He could arrange for something to be out the way, right? But he wanted and just left her there. And it's just like, of course you did, Daemon. Like, of course you did. And now while all this is going on, King Viserys sends the "you up" text message to Alicent. Like, literally sends a servant to her room to be like, hey, guess what, Miss Mamas? The king is feeling a little bit frisky, baby. He said he do not feel like waking up with morning wood. He got too much shit to do. He got council meetings to take care of. He said, bitch, he finna take care of this shit now, okay? And Alicent goes in there while, Rhaenyra is getting her puss, literally. Even though I think, like, these two scenes were meant to show us manipulation from from different perspectives, right? Manipulation on the side of Daemon, where he's just, like, showing Rhaenyra these things and literally enacting his plan, enacting his vision at her expense, honestly. Like, that's what it gives, especially by the end of the episode. And also manipulation when you're talking about Viserys, and just the entire way that women are treated in this society. Alicent is literally just there. She's just there, just laying there while the king is stroking. And it's just the most depressing, sad thing ever. Because Viserys is doing what he needs. He's just getting off. He's just doing what he feel like he needs to do. And I mean, even he rubs Alicent's face like she's supposed to be fucking enjoying the shit, and she smiles like okay, whatever, just do what you're doing, hurry up and get the fuck up off me. And that is fucking depressing. And as much as I will be shading Alicent, and her damn dad, like, the way that Alicent is stuck between a rock and a misogynist place is really fucked up, and of course anybody who feels stuck in that way is gonna do things, whatever they have to do to feel some sense of power, to escape that situation. So yeah, I don't know, all that shit was just it was sad to see, especially Alicent going through all that shit. It was really sad. But then so Rhaenyra go back up, she found her way back up, and Sir Crisco was like, bitch, you were supposed to be in the room. Where the fuck did you come from? I'm telling the Lord Commander. And Rhaenyra was like, no, how about you coming here fuck? How about you come in here and eat this pussy? How about that? And you can see just how conflicted Sir Criston Cole was about this whole ordeal. Like, he was just looking at, you know, where he was supposed to be. He was looking at his post. He was like, bitch, am I really gonna break my vows? Am I really gonna break my vows? And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. Sir Criston Cole is just, I don't know. It's gonna get even messier, especially all this shit going on with Daemon. We already know that Rhaenyra is going to have kids in the future. What the hell's going to go on? But it's just, things are getting so absolutely messy. But honestly, I have said it before and I will say it again. Sir Criston Cole is goddamn fine. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Sir Criston Cole is, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He's Dornish. That's what they say. He's Dornish. I'm just gonna accept it. That's why he's so goddamn fine. Sir Criston Cole fine to me. I don't know. It's also his demeanor too, and the way that he treats Rhaenyra too. I'm just like, hey, daddy, hey, daddy. I just wanna get your attention. That's what she said. I really wanna be all up in your bed, bitch. Somebody was all up in some business, and that was Sir Otto. Sir Otto was all up in Rhaenyra business. Sir Otto gonna come out talking about, oh girl, what's the tea, bitch? Got his spies running around the city, seeing where Rhaenyra was at, seeing what was going on. I'm sure he had his fucking spies in the brothel, keeping up with Daemon. I'm sure he had some leftover spies from, you know what I mean? Girl, he really think he Viserys. Girl, he really think he Littlefinger. Girl, that shit is so fun. And both them hoes got executed, bitch. Viserys and Littlefinger. So play with them games if you want to. Play with them games if you want to. Anyway, Otto goes to Viserys to tell him, and Viserys' response is so fucking hilarious to me because first Otto comes in there telling him like, girl, your daughter was at a brothel. And Viserys was like, okay. Viserys was like, okay. She's Targaryen, like, bitch, okay. Viserys was like, bitch, you came into my fucking bedchambers, you know, telling me that she went to a goddamn brothel. It better be good. You see how my hair look right now? Are you serious? I just woke up. I'm not being excited. I woke up like this. She woke up like this. Bitch, I gotta get ready. Okay? So you came in my fucking chambers. You better come out with it. He's like, speak up, sweetie. You're doing all of this, and I can't fucking hear you. You are not Janet Jackson. Speak up. And Viserys comes out swinging. I mean, he already know that Otto is being messy, and he knows that, but he's not stupid. Like, he knows Rhaenyra. He also knows Rhaenyra, and he knows Daemon. You know what I mean? So he just saves face and he tries to save face. These are lies. How dare you? Oh my God. Who said it? I'll take their eyes out. You're trying to just, but he also makes a point like, bitch, you're spying on my daughter? You're trying to destroy her reputation. You want the fucking Iron Throne so goddamn bad. You want that seat so goddamn bad. You know what I mean? That you over here spying on my damn daughter. Get the fuck up out my face. That's what he said. He's like, get the fuck up out my face. Side note here, I really love how most of Viserys' room is just filled with this big ass toy, filled with this big ass miniature ass sculpture. Like, bitch, you're just playing. That's all you're doing. You're playing around in the Red Keep. That's all you're doing. You ain't solving no problems. You're just playing around. Just playing around. I just thought it was really cool. Like, most of his room is taken up by play. Like, that shit is so funny to me. But yeah, he tells him like, girl, Rhaenyra was over there getting it on with Daemon, and I don't know what you want to do about it. And Alicent was over there overhearing everything, right? And it was just it was just bad for my sis. It was just bad for my sis Rhaenyra. Like, they were coming for her. So Daemon gets dragged in to see the king, right? And Mysaria was trying to protect him, but he was just like calling her all types of whores and common whores and this and that. And I'm like, all right, Daemon. All right, keep playing with Mysaria. Keep playing with her. She seemed like she's just letting this shit slide. But it wouldn't surprise me if she coming up with some kind of plan, especially with the way that they talk about her character, that she's kind of on a more magical side. Kind of. So I'm just like, I don't think it's smart to be talking to her ass like that. I don't know. Daemon pissed me off. Like, I live for him. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. And it might be hypocritical, but whatever. I live for his ass, but he's also really, like, there's another side of him. It's really nasty. It's really nasty. So he gets dragged in to see the king, and Viserys gets in on his ass. I'm just like, damn, Viserys, where is this altar? Where is this brigada? Where is this energy? Where is this dragon when we need him? Now you kicking your brother in the side, talking about my daughter and all this shit, like, as you should. Like, I understand. Even though it's going to be a gag if, like, Rhaenyra comes out here and say, bitch, I actually want to be with Daemon. Or when she do. Ooh. You know, like, I want to be with Daemon. Because you was fucking with her. You fucked her best friend, girl. Now she fucking your brother. Bitch, that's what happened. Yo, if your father's fucking your best friend, Rhaenyra said go fuck his brother. And I threw up in my mouth a little bit, but I also lived. And here is where Daemon makes his play. He said, hey, guess what? You see me, you saw I came in here earlier and gave you my crown. You said I could have anything I want. I want Rhaenyra. And since I already, this is what you say. Since I already took her ass to the brothels, you already know what the fuck happening. Since I messed around with her ass, she's you know, quote unquote sully. So just give her ass to me, and I'll get her ass together. And that's it. And the king was like, get your ass up off this motherfucking floor and get your ass to the veil, bitch. I don't want to see your dumb ass ever again. And you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can take your ass back to the fucking steps. So I don't care where the fuck you go. But he's like, as long as I don't ever see your stupid ass again, bitch, I'm fine. So Alicent and Rhaenyra finally talk. And she just comes out with it. Alicent said, bitch, did you fuck Daemon? Did you fuck Daemon? We all know how y'all Targaryens are. We already know how your queer customs. And I say, bitch, when Alicent said queer customs, I said, now why am I in it? Now why am I in it? The homophobia jumped out, Alicent. When is the next Pride in Westeros? Do we fly rainbow flags down the King's Road or some shit? When's the next Pride? She said queer customs. I said, oh, bitch. Now, the way that the actresses talked about these characters is almost like they almost in love or kind of shit like that. They were alluding to it, or like Alice, they kind of played like, yeah, they're best friends, but it's still kind of something more. I don't know. That's what from my understanding, that's what the actresses were saying about it. So this could also be looked at through another lens, where it's like, maybe is Alicent a little bit jealous, Iana? But also, I would still be annoyed because I'm like, I over here had to endure your fucking father. You messing around with sexy ass Daemon ass? Get the fuck out of my fucking face. Anyway, she said, but she brings up a good point. Alicent was just like, you know what this means for maidens, basically, or women. You know what this can do. You know, especially, and you're a princess. You ain't even just a regular ass maiden or a regular ass girl running around the fucking kingdom. You are a princess, and so much of politics, we're talking about war and all that shit, depend on these marriages, depend on, you know, the quote unquote purity of your damn puss. It's ridiculous, but that's what we're facing, is what she says. And Rhaenyra gaslights, girl bosses, gatekeeps her ass out of this situation. She says, oh my God, whatever happened? I just went to the bar to get some drinks with my uncle. Is that so bad? It's like, what are y'all talking about? I would never do that. I swear it on my goddamn mama that I would never, Daemon never touched me. He never touched me. He left me for some whore at the end of the night. And it was just like, you definitely told half-truths. You were very strategic with the half-truths and the lies and the truth that she told all in one. But she was just like, the kingdom not about to drag me, bitch. I'm not Cersei, honey. I'm not about to do no fucking walk of shame. Like, bitch, you serious? She said, I will lie my way, and bitch, I'm gonna use my mama name on that shit too. How about that? Daemon never touched me, honey. But then Rhaenyra uses this as a way to find out that she's being spied on, because Alicent says basically that someone told her father, not that her father witnessed it himself. So she's like, oh, okay. I see what the hell is happening. So I even though Alicent, like I said, I make jokes about Alicent, but she's still, like, at least at this point, she's still doing at least the best that she can, I guess, maybe, because here she's talking to the king, trying to sway the king in the direction of thinking that Daemon lied. You know, basically telling Viserys, like, well, does Daemon ever tell the truth fully? And she's right. I mean, she was smart for saying that. And Viserys is just like, why would he confess to anything? It wouldn't help his cause. And she was just like, obviously to get at you, you know? And Viserys says this, whatever transpired, Rhaenyra is not innocent. And Alicent said, only because Daemon tried to corrupt her. And then Viserys comes back with, Daemon and Rhaenyra basically are the same kind of girls, honey. They are rambunctious, honey. They are crazy. And Alicent said, well, she swore it, and I believe her. So she's trying to help her good sis out. I don't know how much that's going to work, though, but Rhaenyra goes to see the king, and here we get a history lesson on the cat's paw dagger. And, of course, he says the last Valyrian pyromancers hid Aegon's song in the steel. So it's being heated up. And Rhaenyra was able to read, from my blood come the prince that was promised. And his will be the song of ice and fire. Every time in the show, every time they mention like song of ice and fire or the prince that was promised or some shit, they be playing Daenerys' themes and shit from fucking Game of Thrones. So, girl, they can be mad all they want. Mr. Mopey is not the prince who was promised. He is not the, and I'm gonna stand by that. He's not the prince who was promised. Daenerys is the prince who was promised. Get off my dick. Period. So he just basically reminds her of what's at stake, her inheritance, all that shit. He tells her like Jaehaerys would have disowned you for this, and she was just like, but you don't even know what happened. That's not really what happened. Oh my god, are you really? Viserys like Viserys like, truth does not matter. Only perception does. And she comes back with, if I was a man, I'd be able to do it whatever I wanted and father bastards and all this. And Viserys like, yes, you would be able to, but you were not born a man. And it's just, oh my God, hearing these kinds of things, especially when you're like growing up, is so frustrating because it's like a lot of these traditions that y'all do don't make no fucking sense. But at the same time, like learning that you have to work with, and if you want to undo it, that's cool, but understand what you're facing if you want to go against tradition in this way. And me personally, I mean, in real life, I think they're all stupid ass, dumb ass traditions that fuck people over, especially women, especially like marginalized communities, queer communities. I think all that shit should be undone. But I think also you have to see what the world actually is before you can start even trying to undo it. And I think that's where they are now. You got to play the game, and I think Rhaenyra understands that now because she says, all right, I'll marry Laenor, god damn it, I'll marry Laenor, but you have to do your duty as king. Like she tells him, and he cannot deny it because Sir Otto is a mess. Viserys fires the fuck out of Otto. He came in there, like when Otto came in there, Viserys said, you slimeballed your way up to this position after Balon fucking died. I see what happened with Alicent. I see how calculated that shit was. I can no longer trust you. Give me this goddamn pen, bitch. Get the fuck up out my face. And, you know, as much as I shade and will continue to shade Otto, what he does definitely has two purposes. The first one, of course, is to get his shit on the throne. Like, get his line on the throne, obviously. Like, we can't even deny that shit. But also, like, that shit was going on. If he lets certain things just continue and fester and shit, it will destroy the kingdom. So yes, he is self-serving. Yes, he does want his grandson to be on the throne. Yes, he does. But at the same time, and he does want to ruin Rhaenyra. He does. But at the same time, Rhaenyra doing all that shit, or people thinking whatever people think about Rhaenyra or her being a blah 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 blah, like it can potentially fuck the kingdom up too. So like, you know, how much should you tell the king as hand, and how much do you keep to yourself? Either way, like I said, Otto is, I'm not defending him at all. He's a piece of shit, right? Because he still wants the throne, and we can't, or he still wants his line to be on the throne. We can't act like that's not real. Viserys sends Rhaenyra to Planned Parenthood and tells her ass to just sit her ass down. And that was the end of the episode. And Rhaenyra was like, oh my God, what is this? What is this? Girl, you know what it is. If you don't drink that shit, I wouldn't have said shit. I would have drank that shit so quick. Are you serious? Like, girl, you was over here talking about, oh my gosh, I'm so scared of childbirth and all this shit. It's like, yes, okay, you're scared of childbirth. And Viserys gave you this goddamn morning after pill. If you don't swallow that shit and keep it moving and act like none of this shit happened, girl, I would have taken that shit and went on to Cyrax and flown around the city for a few minutes, you know, and just relax for a bit while it entered my digestive tract. Bitch, I promise you, while it entered my bloodstream, bitch. Like, I promise you. This episode was absolutely wild. It was filled with a lot of conversation, but it did not feel like any minute was wasted. You see what I'm saying? They definitely had some kind of point, some main thing to get across with each sentence of dialogue. And so even though it was filled with conversation, it didn't feel like the episode was just dragging on and on and on. This video is way too long already. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm mad this video almost as long as a goddamn episode. If these shits are too long, I will try to find a way to shorten them, child. So just let me know if this is way too long and y'all want it to be shorter, okay? Love y'all so much. Thank you so much for checking out the video, and I will catch up with y'all later.